What up players, it's Wallboss Tail for this mod. Today we're doing hazard stripes on your Chaos Warriors, Iron Warriors mainly, but also Imperial Guard vehicles. Sometimes use them, Space Marine vehicles sometimes use them. The paints you're going to need are Averland Sunset, Flash Gets Yellow, and Chaos Black or Abaddon Black. So, hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll see you in the next one. Okay players, what I've done now between step 1 and 2 is I've taken all the areas that I want to paint with these hazard stripes, and I've made sure you remember from the first part of the video, part 1 of how to paint Iron Warriors, that I've painted these areas black. So for example, the left shoulder pad, the front case of the bolter, the right leg, I painted all those areas black, and then what I did was I took some Averland Sunset and I applied 2 nice thin coats. And what I mean by thin is when you pop open the cap, or what I like to do to thin just a little bit is I'll take whatever is here in the cap, I'll dip my brush into my water, and because we're not mixing, it doesn't need to be on the wet palette, we're putting it on the model, it should be nice and thin enough. The first time you do it, you're going to notice that the black shows through pretty much right away, right off the bat. So don't worry, just apply a second coat, maybe even a third coat, and that should do ya. So there are 2 ways of doing this. You can either do it this way, which I found takes a little bit more time, but I found that this way works better for me. Or what you can do is you can just start painting the stripes on from the black coat. The reason why I don't like doing that as much anymore is because yellow is a hard color to paint on. If you just paint on a stripe of Averland Sunset over a black surface, then you'll see where the edges of the paint are. It's harder to clean up. Like I did that for my Warpsmith, my Finecast Warpsmith, and I wasn't too pleased with it, so I found that this works a little bit better. So we give it some time to dry, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our Chaos Black, or your Abaddon Black, whatever it is, and you are going to paint some stripes on. So I think I'm going to start with the front case of the bolter. I like to go from the bottom left to the upper right. You just paint on these diagonal stripes right here. You want them to be as smooth as you can make them. Just realized this brush is a little too thick, so I'm gonna change my brushes out. Use a fine detail brush. Those seem to work pretty well. Shake up my pot. And don't worry if the first time you're painting it you don't get it exactly the way you want it. We'll just go back and repaint over it. Hopefully when you're doing this step, it's not, everything else hasn't been done yet, so there's still time to change the areas of paint around the hazard stripes that you're painting on. So Iron Warriors, Chaos Space Marines are the ones that use this the most. But if you also want to paint these onto your Imperial tanks, maybe to some Imperial fists, would be pretty cool to do. just gonna paint the top of the case for a second. We'll go back over that with some yellow later. So you'll notice after the first coat that it's pretty messy, it's pretty sloppy, right? All you're gonna do is wait for the black to dry a little bit, then we're gonna go back with Affluent Sunset and even out those yellow lines. Okay, so we've given the stripes some time to dry. Now we're gonna go back in. We're gonna be very precise with cleaning these yellow stripes up. Let's just make sure that we've got them lined up, and then we're going to hello. How are you, honey?
I'm just.
And the best hazard stripes, you're not gonna get them the very first time you repaint the stripes. It's gonna take you maybe 2 or 3, like it's taken me now, to get just the right amount of, what is the angle that I'm going for. But once you get it, it's pretty solid, then it's all good. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take some Flash Gets Yellow. Aerial Yellow also works, it's the next step down, but can't seem to find mine. So you're gonna take your Flash Gets Yellow and you're just gonna highlight the yellow stripes. See how bright that is? It really makes those yellow strips pop. Okay, and there you have it. Flat surfaces, easy. When you get to these curved surfaces, such as this shoulder pad, it's gonna take a little bit more. So you're basically just gonna be compensating for the curve, I guess. So what I like to do to set it up is I will start at the corner of the shoulder pad and I will just make as thin as possible. Because the thing about these shoulder pad ones is they're going to eventually be pretty thick. So you want to start as thin as you can, so you can, if you're off a little bit, then you can compensate and adjust. Once you get it all the way across, that's when we spread it out. And by doing that, you're able to make a nice solid stripe with clean edges. If you mess up, then just kind of go back over that same spot and spread it out a little bit. So you should have one solid stripe like that. Okay, next you would imagine where the next one would be, and you follow through with the black paint. Again, starting off maybe a little bit thinner, and it's going to end up and tracing all the way across to the upper right corner. And just like before, if you mess up, let me just go back in and fix. You have something like that. Go back in with the Averland Sunset if you want to. And then maybe if you want to go back one last time with the black before highlighting it up. This is pretty much how you do it. And let the shoulder pad dry a little bit. Work on the leg, same thing. Start from one corner, thinly work your way up to the diagonal, and then spread out the line once you're pretty sure that it's as straight as you can make it. These I feel are the trickiest ones, the ones on the leg armor, so don't be ashamed if you have to go over it a couple of times. Most guys won't have meltas slung to their back, so that's probably will make this part a little bit easier for you too. There you go. Yeah, so these hazard stripes, so iconic of the Iron Warriors. It's nice to see that so many Iron Warriors are getting, or so many people playing with the Iron Warriors. A lot of Iron Warriors love because of the Black Library books. How many short stories they've been featured in. I'm reading this collection of short stories right now called The Treacheries of the Space Marines, and they feature very prominently in 2 of the short stories that I've read so far. Really cool stuff. Okay, so there's the yellow's all fixed up. We're gonna touch them up with this Flash Gets Yellow, and then we'll be done. That effect like that. Now Flash Gets Yellow is really bright, so gotta make sure that you either dull it down, thin it down before you paint on your figures, or just don't put too much on your brush because it's really easy to just slap too much paint on, make a mistake. Like I just made a mistake there, I wasn't concentrating and the yellow got onto the black spot, one of the black stripes, so I'm just going to take my Chaos Black and fix that up. But yeah, mistakes like that, easily made and easily avoided as long as you take your time. This is the last part we're going to go over, and then this model will be done. Or at least the hazard stripes.
Okay.
Whoopidoo! Okay. And there you have it, players, how to do hazard stripes. They're hard to do when you first, if you're not used to them, and it takes some time to get used to doing these, but they look really cool when you're done. You don't have to be super perfect and precise with them, and you'll still get a good effect. And yeah, they'll make your Iron Warriors look awesome. So thanks for watching, players. See you in the next video.